We had a request in the chat just to kind of clarify the connection between the main topic here of Palestine, the plight of Palestinians, the connection between that and your excellent article, Spiritual Wickedness in High Places. So I kind of had maybe like a bridge question here to connect
Okay.
those. So in your article, you write that the quote, the devil would happily replace naive trust with corrosive suspicion. We see all of a
Yes.
sudden kind of the scale. We're hoping to kind of pull the scales away from the eyes of many, especially Americans, since it's our tax dollars and our bombs leading to all
Sure.
this kind of stuff.
Sure.
To replace that with corrosive suspicion, which we now see, unfortunately, starting to ramp up online. Everybody's talking about, oh, Israel's the devil and they're running the world. That's a
Only
dangerous
the
place to
devil's the
go.
devil.
Right. So,
He's looking for recruits everywhere, though. You can be a Jew or a Muslim, whatever, a Christian. He wants help. He's always looking for help. So that's the
yeah,
danger of corrosive suspicion. I wrote another article on the dangers of conspiratorial thinking, but I'm sorry, continue.
yeah, yeah, no problem. So you continue with the devil delights equally in blindness and paranoia. And so then in your podcast on Christian Zionism, you note how people criticizing the Israeli government now for anything gets people called, thanks to the IHRA definition, get people called anti-Semites and banned and
Right.
canceled and all that. So I really appreciated in the article your discussion about how we as Orthodox Christians maintain sobriety in the face of all of this, either complete naivety or conspiratorial, all this crazy stuff about the Jews are running the world and all that stuff, keeping it in a place of Orthodox Christian sobriety, neither naive nor conspiratorial. But do you mind speaking to that a little more?
Yeah, I oftentimes, because this kind of thinking is very much prevalent in the Orthodox Church, particularly in the Russian Church, to be quite honest. And my point is always this: let's assume, for the sake of argument, that the world is run by 12 Jew bankers. Let's just say that is real. So what? Our king is Jesus Christ. The affairs of this world and how this world is run ultimately are of not of great significance. The Lord, when he's standing there before Pilate, representing all power of the empire, and he says, "Do you not know I could bring legions of angels now, if and my soldier or my followers would fight if this my kingdom were of this world?" So I think we always have to bear that in mind, and so we always have to be sober on that account. And what does the devil want to do? Want us to do? I think the notion is the devil's got like a political party and he's a set of like serious like goals and agendas. He wants to do this. He has a strategy. Well, I'll let you know what the strategy of the devil is right now. It's to distract us. It is to prevent us from doing those things we need to do to achieve salvation and theosis. And it doesn't matter which direction, it doesn't matter what flavor it comes in. It can be far right, it can be far left, it can be far middle. It really ultimately doesn't matter in that sense, as long as we are distracted. When we're brought into the church, we spit on the devil, right? And then unfortunately we decide that Israel's the devil. Well, that's great. No, maybe it's working for the devil in some ways. Most countries are in some ways. Iran's the devil. No, same thing. The devil is the devil, and he can appear as an angel of light, but we have to always bear in mind he's a dark force. And so what happens with all this, this fascination, one, it's motivated by ego. We can't do anything about it anyway, right? If there is some red robed cabal of ball worshiping, baby eating, antichrist loving bankers or whatever you want to call them, there's nothing we can do about that, right? The only thing we can do about that is connect our human will with the divine will. The Lord is the king. The Lord is the conqueror. He says, vengeance is mine, not ours. So once we get out of the notion that we're independent gods and we're making decisions about the world, then we realize, what are we here for? What did the Lord command us to do? Did he command us to Keep up. You got to keep up with what's going on in the world. That's the most important thing. He didn't tell us that. Even yesterday, we read the Canon of St. Andrew of Crete and the Life of St. Mary of Egypt. And I love the interaction between Elder Zosma and St. Mary when they meet. St. Mary, who's been in the desert for 47 years or something like this, says, "How are the kingdoms? How are the kings? Is everything going well?" And Elder Zosma says, by your holy prayers, everything's fine. And then they proceed to deal with important matters. So again, I'm a monk. I've already, I'm rejected the world in a particular way, but everyone who's an Orthodox Christian is also rejected the world in a particular way. So what I would say in that article is, don't be so sure that you're right about everything. Don't be so sure that the time you're spending informing yourself of various conspiracy theories, which may or may not be right, the fact that it's right or wrong really doesn't change much. This idea that we can sort of raise like a group of like torch-bearing villagers and go up and march in the castle and kill Frankenstein, that's not going to happen. Jesus Christ, our King, when he comes back, he will deal with these matters. We have to endure them. Now, that doesn't mean we can't, do things as your organization is doing to try to alleviate the suffering of our people. That's absolutely one of our gospel responsibilities. But the idea that we can fundamentally change the way the world operates is not going to happen. Until the end, the devil is tyrannically oppressing us, and we can fight against him here in the heart more so than in the world. I hope that's not too religious.